Good morning students. Today we will do the next portion of the chapter heat. Here you can see the picture of mercury thermometer. You know students, I have discussed in the last class about mercury thermometer. Thermometer in which mercury is used as thermometric liquid. You know about thermometric liquid, the liquid which is kept in the thermometer. Whenever heat is gained by that liquid, it expands and it shows the temperature of that substance. Now I will tell you about advantages of mercury as thermometric liquid. So the first of all, mercury expands rapidly and uniformly on heating. So the markings on the thermometer can be made at equal intervals. With the same rising temperature, mercury expands in the same manner, so it makes easier to read the thermometer scale. Okay students, now the next advantage, the boiling point of mercury is 357 degrees Celsius. Here you can see the value is given 356.9 degrees Celsius, which is nearly equal to 357 degrees Celsius. And freezing point, here it is given minus 38.87 degrees Celsius, which is nearly equal to minus 39 degrees Celsius, or approximately you can say that is minus 39 degrees Celsius. So from melting point and boiling point, you can see within the wide range of temperature, mercury remains as liquid. So a wide range of temperature can be measured using mercury thermometer. Another point or another advantage is mercury does not stick to the wall of the capillary tube. As you can see that this is actually the picture of mercury. It is very shiny material and like silver like color you can see. And whenever you are pouring mercury in a glass container, you can see that it slips. So it actually does not stick to the glass. That's why it slips from here and there in the container, in the glass container. So as it does not sticks to the glass, whenever mercury is expanding and it is changing its temperature from one point to another, we can get the proper reading or accurate reading. And from the picture also you can understand that mercury is shiny and opaque. Opaque means through which light cannot pass, which makes it easily visible through the glass. As it is opaque and very shiny, whenever it is expanding, we can easily read the reading of the thermometer. So these are the advantages. Now I will discuss about disadvantages of mercury as a thermometric liquid. The very first disadvantage is mercury is extremely poisonous, students. When you will handle mercury in the lab in higher classes, after using you should wash your hands properly, because it is very much poisonous and it is hazardous to your health. It causes damage to the nervous system. In anyhow, if anyone take mercury, it can damage their digestive system. So we should handle mercury with care. And mercury is very much expensive. So this is another disadvantage. And the third one, it freezes at 39 degrees Celsius. So it cannot be used to measure the temperatures below 39 degrees Celsius, right? Now the fourth point, if mercury leaks, it forms small balls. In the picture you can see it is very shiny balls are there. It often forms like droplet structure. So if it leaks from the thermometer, it forms small balls like structures and which are difficult to dispose of. So these are the disadvantages, students. Now I will discuss about alcohol thermometer It is nothing but the thermometer in which alcohol is used as thermometric liquid. So there are various advantages of alcohol as a thermometric liquid. Alcohol expands much more for any temperature difference as compared to the mercury. This makes alcohol thermometer exceptionally sensitive. So with small rise in temperature, it expands more, so that significant change in the level of the alcohol we can easily observe. Now the next point, the freezing point of alcohol is minus 114.1 degrees Celsius, or approximately equals, you can say, minus 114 degrees Celsius, and boiling point is 78.37 degrees Celsius. So we know that in case of mercury thermometer, the melting point or freezing point, you can say, of mercury is minus 39 degrees Celsius. So we cannot measure the temperature below 39 degrees Celsius, but using alcohol thermometer we can easily measure the temperature below 39 degrees Celsius, because mercury alcohol freezes at minus 114, which is very much less than minus 39 degrees Celsius. So this is another disadvantage of alcohol. Now another advantage is alcohol is cheap and non-toxic. That means, as I told you, mercury is very much poisonous to our health. Alcohol is not that much poisonous. Okay, and it is very cheap. Now I will discuss about these advantages of alcohol as a thermometric liquid. Here you can see the picture of alcohol. In a glass container, alcohol is kept. Alcohol is transparent. You can see from the picture it is looking like water, right? So as it is transparent, whenever it is expanding in the capillary tube, can we understand? No, we cannot understand the reading properly. That's properly, not even, we cannot understand the reading. So it has to be mixed with a brightly colored dye for improving the visibility. That's why when I have shown the picture of alcohol thermometer, there you have seen the red colored capillary tube. In the capillary tube there is a red color liquid. Nothing, it is color is mixed with the alcohol. Now I already told you that boiling point of alcohol is 78 degrees Celsius. So if we want to measure the temperature higher than 78 degrees Celsius, we cannot measure that temperature using alcohol thermometer. So this is another disadvantage. And like water, you can see that alcohol wets the tube. That means it sticks to the capillary tube. So few droplets of alcohol may stick to the sides of the capillary tube instead of forming uniform column. Thus, we cannot take the accurate measurements as we can do in case of mercury thermometer. Mercury does not stick to the glass, so we can get the proper reading, but in case of alcohol, we cannot get the accurate reading. So these are the disadvantages. So now you can easily see what is the difference between alcohol thermometer and mercury thermometer. From the advantages and disadvantages, you can make many points, right? Now I will discuss about transfer of heat. Heat can be transferred in various ways, students. There are three modes of transfer of heat. Like in the sunny day, if you are standing outside on the road, can you stand for longer time without umbrella? No, because heat is coming from the sun and we are getting heated. So anyhow, heat is transferred from the sun to our earth, and the earth is getting heated. So there are three ways of transfer of heat. One, conduction. Number two, convection. And number three, radiation. Today I will mainly focus on conduction. What is conduction, students? Suppose if you take a metal rod and at one end of the rod, if you put any candle, after some times you cannot hold the rod. Why? Because from the end where the candle is placed, from that end heat energy is transferred through the rod and it reaches to your hand. So you cannot hold the rod for longer time. Here heat is transferred by conduction method. What happens, students, whenever one end of the rod is getting heated, at that end molecules starts vibrating at their position. And whenever they start vibrating much more faster, they collide with the molecules which are beside them. So those molecules again start vibrating. In this way, from one end of the rod to another end, heat energy is transferred. This process is conduction. So how to define conduction? The process of heat transfer from one molecule to another without actual movement of the molecules is called conduction. This mode of heat transfer takes place in solids. We know, students, in solids molecules are tightly packed and they are fixed at their positions. So they are not moving their position, but they are vibrating, getting the heat energy, and that heat energy is transferred from one end of the rod to another end. Now, on the basis of the rate of transfer of heat, materials are classified into two types. That means in some materials heat can be easily transferred from one end to another end, but in some materials it cannot. The two types of materials are conductors and insulators. Now, what are conductors? The materials that allow the transfer of heat through them very easily and rapidly are called conductors. You can see the pictures of conductors of heat: aluminium, copper, silver. These are very much good conductors of heat. Now, to observe the effect of heat on nails, one activity we can do. Here you can see, students, one stand is there, and with the help of a clamp, one metal rod is kept. At one end, in the middle of the metal rod, one Bunsen burner is kept. That means the metal rod is getting heated in the middle. And at the right end of the metal rod, there is a pin or nail which is stuck to the rod using wax. Okay, students. So what we can observe, after some time the nail starts to fall. Why? Because in the middle of the rod it is getting heated and heat energy is transferred from the middle to the right end of the rod. Then the wax melts. That's why the nail comes down. So this is the proof of conduction through the metal rod. Now I will discuss what is insulator. Insulators are the materials that do not allow the transfer of heat through them very easily. Right? These are also known as bad conductors of heat. You can see glass, plastic, wood, fabric, wool, cork, paper. These are all examples of insulators or bad conductors of heat. Now another one activity we will do to show what is a bad conductor of heat. Here we have taken a long test tube, and the lower end of the test tube some ice is kept, and above the ice there is a ring, metal ring, to keep the ice from rising, so that ice cannot rise. Now the other end of the tube is getting heated by using a Bunsen burner. So what will happen? Water at that end where the heat energy is applied, that water will start to boil after some time. Okay? But the ice which is at the lower end of the tube stays in solid form. So what is the conclusion here? The heat supplied from the flame of the burner through water to the ice cube is not enough to melt. This clearly shows that water is a bad conductor of heat. Okay students, hope you have understood. Learn the portion of the chapter from your textbook properly. Thank you.